What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm back with another good one. What's up, everybody? I got Coach Odom joining in right now.
Coach B,
What's happening? What's happening?
Roddy Berry, it's all about you right now, man.
Yeah,
It's all about you.
I'm here. I'm living the dream, I guess, or living in the dream. I don't know what
depends on
to
depends on what you're dreaming.
Right.
Depends on what you're dreaming,
Always ready, Coach. You always ready, no matter what.
man.
You
Oh
always
my
ready.
God.
Yeah, I seen Baby Boy yesterday. What I got in the gym.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I stopped by for a minute. Yeah, I was like, oh, they made it up. Him and
Uh-huh.
um,
And
um,
Jay Brian
oh,
Harvey.
that's what I was about to say. Did I pronounce his name right? I thought
Yeah,
it's
Jay Brian, my little nephew. He's a grown man.
yeah. He's yesterday, right? So my guy that coaches with me, Mac. You know Mac. So
Mm-hmm.
he was like, yeah, he was telling me, yeah, look, he's just saying when my guy was out there. So
That's right.
telling me, I was like, yeah, I remember the kid. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, I think he's good. But I
Mm-hmm.
was, so they were doing some drills, and I was like, oh, I didn't know he could do all that though, because he started getting off the floor. You know what I mean?
See,
Like, oh,
see, I'm mad I couldn't see something because they don't tell me. They got back in the car and was like, it was okay. It was good.
oh,
I was like,
oh,
I
yeah,
was trying to pull the questions out of them and they didn't tell me too much.
oh yeah, he surprised me. I didn't know. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I said, I remember him. Maybe look, he talking about told you. I remember him being able to, but he was like getting off the floor, and I was like, oh yeah, you got me. I didn't know. I didn't realize.
So he's been working. He got in
Mm-hmm.
the car doing like this. I was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, you were dunking. I was like, all left hand. He was like, yeah, I hurt my wrist a couple of times. So
Oh, yeah, that's.
yeah, him and Amari made it up. I heard Boo was gonna be in the building, so we had an opportunity to get there. So
Mm.
they were excited. They were excited to drive up. So
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, they were there. I was good. It was good to see everybody because I think
mhm.
that was they had most of the guys or almost all the guys, but that was the first time they got a real like a workout, like a team workout. So
He said that there were about what 12 of them,
it's
maybe.
12. You know how? Yeah, it's gonna be 12.
Okay.
I don't know how many was there yesterday, but it should be 12.
Yeah, he said it was like 12 there.
It,
AO did. So I mean, they
oh yeah,
came out excited, looking a little rejuvenated.
yeah, that's
But
good. Everybody would have loved. I'm just tagging you up here now. Um,
okay.
quick, that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, when I saw the
That
boys in
works.
it yesterday, I was excited.
What were you doing there? You work
I just
somebody out or what?
did it yesterday.
Or just being the director of ops, you just have to
Yeah,
hover around.
there you go. Look,
I'm just saying that's so you just supervise and kind of
yeah,
float from place to place.
yeah, a little something like that.
Must be nice.
So I just wanted to see what they was looking like and then what the guys were doing yesterday. So I said I'm gonna slide in, and then
Coach Mack said it was 13 of them yesterday. So
also yeah, it was more. It was one over.
okay,
Yeah, so somebody yeah, but
somebody trying to get in. I ain't mad. I'm gonna
somebody,
show up too. Sometimes you got to show up where you ain't really invited, man, and
mhm.
just show out.
Yeah, I'm up here typing. I'm slow with this. I'm
Oh
real
no,
slow.
you good.
I'm
You
real.
should be a veteran by now. How long you been doing the show?
This is 5. This is week 5.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good.
I'm new to it, you know what I'm saying? Still, like, it was fun. I've been thinking about doing it for a while.
With all the knowledge and all the people,
And then,
I think it's a great time for you to do that. That's good.
yeah, so I was
And
like,
5, I made the top 5, baby.
yeah,
Oh,
you can fly for sure.
oh yes.
My first lady coach too.
Oh, I'm good.
My first
All right.
woman head coach, and I had Coach Jones from Norfolk State last week.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. That's a good get.
yeah,
And
that's my
I'm proud. Thank you very much.
yes, ma'am. So yeah, another HBCU guy.
Hmm.
And I just did all that type. It took me. Where do you see what I just typed? You would have think I typed the paragraph.
Wait, you typed that right there. Did it all show up? Because I thought you typed it all right.
It took me all that time to type that right there.
Stop it, Matt. Stop it. I'm reading you.
But look, no, but look,
D. Haney.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I got a friend that helps me out with some stuff on the back end of it. She joined Coach Bailey. So I was doing a little bit of research because I know you. You know what I mean? Amari played with me last year at the end of the year, so we met. And like I was telling Chris when I met you, I didn't know you was a coach then. You just met.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You just, we just talked. And I was just thought you was a person. And Uncle Ted was like, no, she coaches college basketball. And I was like,
my guy.
Right. So I just thought you was a parent, but so I was like, after I started looking you up a little bit just to get some more info, little back info, I was like, oh, Coach is real modest. She was a bucket.
Hey, I mean, I did it because I loved it. I had fun doing it, and my job was to score. You know, they say everybody got a role. My role was the role to get buckets. So
I was like, Coach is real.
I tried to get it done.
Word. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you've been doing it for a long time. Basketball is your life. So, I mean, I guess, but I should have known when we were at Peach Jam and you knew the whole scene.
Oh, yeah.
On the boys' side, you know what I'm saying? I was like, she knows something. You know what I mean?
I'm in heaven amongst that kind of crowd, Peach Jam. I mean, it's crazy because so many people tell me where I should be because of who all I know. I mean, a lot of these guys in the league, like I've been around, played with, worked out, coached. I'm on the women's side. They've been Russell, who you had. I mean, it's funny because Russell's a grown man, but he was like my kid. Like I called him my kid at UCLA. And his wife was my player, somebody I recruited. So players like that who've reached crazy levels, like I know them. And so being in that kind of atmosphere, I mean, I wasn't having so comfortable.
Man, I was like, I said, I know Coach, but I don't know her at all. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did some research. Me and my homegirl, like I said, yeah, Coach is cool. Like, she down to earth. I said when I asked her to pop on with me, she was with it. Like, as soon as she read it on when we text, I said she hit me right back. And was like, yep. And I was like,
yeah, for sure.
Then I started doing some research, and I was like, Coach is real, like down to earth, nonchalant. But I was like, she has a big career. You know what I mean? California, another West Coast. Another West Coast hoops person I got up here with me. Chris was number 2. I met Chris doing YBL and all that. Him running all over
incredible person.
Yeah.
And again, I've seen him come a long way, but always with vision, always had a plan, always about his business and enjoying what he does.
Right.
So I really believe like when you enjoy what you do, I mean, you just go further. You have passion about what you're doing, man. You have a little bounce to your step. It's fun doing what you do. You're attractive. You attract people, and I mean, it feels like it looks like you're living a dream.
Exactly. So starting way back. So growing up in California, Los Angeles, how was it playing like basketball in LA for women back then, like in the 80s, 90s, and that lane?
Dang, I hear you say 80s, 90s. Make me seem old in LA.
I know about all of that.
Yo, you're too young, boy.
No, I'm telling you. My older brother graduated in '88, so he played ball.
That's when I graduated.
You know what I'm saying?
So 88.
88 was a big year. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
My aunt was a women's coach on the high school level for 30 years in my town.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I've seen her do it for 30 years, like coach.
Wow.
And be, you know what I mean, and be like in it. You know what I'm saying? Have like really, really good teams, like state type teams, state runs, and then have really bad teams. You know what I mean? So I seen her on both sides of it. I live with her too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So you've seen it, the intricacies of it.
Yeah.
It was So LA is all I know. I mean, I claim LA. We do this, we do that, West Side, all that stuff. I mean, that's home for me, and it's crazy because I thought LA was the way everybody did it until I got older and saw different ways of even playing a pickup game. But I played with my brother. I have an older brother, one brother, Kevin, he said I was his little brother. I was, all that. So had me tagging along with him everywhere he went. So I was playing with guys everywhere. Let's see, Rogers Park. I mean, you may not know the parks, but all over the place. I mean, Venice Beach, everywhere. So where the guys were, I was. And that's how I learned how to play, learn how to be tough, learn how to lose, learn how to win and compete. And I mean, it was fun. I mean, there were women playing, obviously, but when I'm depending on the ride and all that, my brother took me to his crowd. So the
Right.
crowd I grew up balling with was guys.
So
Um,
that definitely worked out because like I said, I looked into that. Like I said, I always hop around. Like when you tapped in when I was with Chris, I jumped here. I started when you was a baby. Then I go to where you coaching now at Central. So
yeah.
I'm all over the place a little bit. So you did high school real big out there in high school. Like you know what I
Right.
mean? You were a really good player in high school in California with the and then so you went on to college. So I looked at your college numbers and I was like, my God.
So that was that, and that was before people understood. So I remember, so high school, Westchester High School. First of all, Chris knows all about Westchester High. Sam Crawford, Raynard, Zan Mason, Trevor Ariza. That's my kid too, TA. So, I mean, Bobby. It's just a bunch of hoopers from Westchester High. Coach Ed Azam, still there, different capacity, but had a winning program. So I played there again. I knew all the guys. A lot of them went to the league. We're hanging out with Magic Johnson at UCLA, so I knew that crowd. We won a city title there. I was like an All-American, and then went on to Cal Berkeley. Went up there as a freshman. I was slated to be probably like Pac-10. Now, Pac-10, I didn't say Pac-12. Back
Right.
in my day, it was Pac-10. Like Pac-10, freshman of the year and all that. I ended up having a knee injury. I decided to go to Cal and like passed up the local opportunities, you know, UCLA, USC, who I had love for, but just to get away a little bit, be in a different environment, I chose Cal. So I came home and had to face the home crowd. I remember giving USC buckets my freshman year right before I got hurt. They were playing at Loyola Marymount. That was the home game for USC. And then right after that, I got hurt. But it was weird coming home playing against friends. Lisa Leslie, Tammy Story, Tina Thompson ended up there later. Like, so those are my friends. Had to play against them, but everybody has their own path. So I took my path up to Berkeley, and you know, this is where it landed me.
Oh yeah, it ended up being a great decision for you because, like I said, doing a little bit of research and finding out who you are a little bit more on the you know, on the basketball side and in your history. Like I met you, I just met you as a AAU mom.
Hey, I be trying to be the mom. I be trying to be the little chill mom in the stands and chill. I mean, because that's a whole different side of me, but it all fits in the package of, you know, who I am, Trisha Stafford-Odom. So I got to play my career now, having my two sons, being able to follow them around and then take off the coach's hat and just sit there and observe, and it's fun. You
Yeah.
talked about Cal. You talked about Cal and the buckets. I thought about it. Yeah, I ended up leading like the Pac-10 in scoring my
Yes.
senior year, average like 23 or something. I mean,
It was 23 and like I think 8 or 9
I
boards.
was getting bored too, man.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's funny because when people talk to me like this, or when I have to redo my resume and stuff like that, I look at those numbers. And now, to be honest, like then I'm like, I maybe took it for granted. And people now say, Trish, you got to stop and like look at your career. And I mean, learn to appreciate you, because those things weren't easy to accomplish.
Right.
And I didn't realize it back then. And like I said, I was able to keep some stats that still stand in Cal. And like I said, I got hurt the majority of my freshman year, so I did that stuff in 3 years,
3 years.
and
All
it was
time
fun. It was
board.
fun.
That people, I'm gonna tell the people you in the books, 6th all time on the list, 1,500 points, 700 rebounds. That's a lot of buckets.
No, I think they might probably offensive rebounds. I was probably missing getting put
Boy,
back.
you was trying to get buckets. You trying
I
to get some more points.
probably,
You was trying
I
to
was
get some.
probably padding stats back then. They didn't know.
No, I was just telling Mac earlier today because I went by the gym for a minute. I was like, yo, I know Coach, but nah, we don't know Coach. Like
Oh
she
my
really was
God.
busy. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't
Yeah.
look when I saw that because I got, like I said, my homegirl, she helps me out, you know, with some questions and stuff like that to kind of keep me on track a little bit. But then I
hmm
looked you up,
I gotta
and
meet her.
yeah,
I gotta meet her.
She coaches with our girls too. She's on our 17U EYBL staff, Coach Bailey, and she's
Okay.
high school girl. She won a state title this year and all that.
And I know her name, but I don't know her personally, so I need to do that. They had practice today at 3 too, right? Hey, I
Definitely.
know what's going on.
They sure did. They went today. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Because we're in the building today, so it was good to see the girls. Because like that's her that's saying hi right there with the wave with the hand, if you can see it. But
oh, okay. What's happening?
I'll go watch the girls play because it's a different type of basketball too. Because they just seem like it's just different. You know what I'm saying?
What's
It's no,
different? What's the biggest difference to you?
to me. I think they follow instructions a little better. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? With
Yeah.
athleticism and stuff like that, the boys have.
Right.
I'm saying, so I think they, follow instructions and stuff like that better, and like the what's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say the basics, but the fundamentals are there, like a little,
Fundamentals.
yeah. But it was so funny today, though. Me and Boo were talking like while they were going over a couple of plays and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going through them, and they was breaking the playoff. You know what I mean? And Boo turned around and looked at me. He was like, "They breaking the playoff just like
Like
the
the boys. I knew you was going to say that.
yeah."
I knew you were about to say that because I'm listening. But
But they break,
it's changing.
yeah.
It's changing. And I think it used to be more so, and not being stereotypical, not categorizing, but yeah, I think people would say the women, they listen more. They're not as athletic, so they have to listen more. And, they follow stuff. They have more fundamentals to their game. As women become maybe it's becoming more recognized for their athleticism and
Mm-hmm.
their skill development. Yeah, I think they start to get a little more creative and start to do
Mm-hmm.
the things that break off from plays and stuff.
Right.
So you can call it creativity, you can call it freelance, whatever you want. But I think
Mm-hmm.
now, with all the development and skill training and then visuals, people are visual. So
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing all this stuff on video games in real life. Women are trying all this stuff too. And then what better platform and arena to try it in than they feel practice?
Right.
until you coaching that team, you're like, that ain't what I said to do.
That ain't what I wanted.
That ain't what I wanted.
You know what's so
So,
funny too though? Like you say that because back when I was in high school, because I graduated in the '90s too. I graduated in '95. So
okay. Oh my God.
Lakeisha Fret was like
Yeah, Georgia.
she was the deal like out here. You know what I mean? Like
Brett was nice.
yeah,
Long, lanky,
yeah.
stiff, but Fred was, like you said, I think she was fundamentally sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like you knew what she was gonna do, but you couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I know Fred.
We didn't like it was some other what I'm saying, women players back then that were pretty good. Like I had a couple of cousins that were nice to play for my aunt, but like Lakeisha Fred was another girl that's like around my age. Danielle Dawson,
Mm-hmm.
and who else? It was a couple of other girls, but they were the ones that were like, play like play. You know what I'm saying? Shonda, Coach Bailey, she can play.
Uh-huh.
Girl that
Uh-huh.
Waynetta, you know what I'm saying? She's at Waynetta coaches at Temple. Waynetta, I forgot Waynetta's last
I'm
name.
sure I know who you're talking about. I mean, that sounds like my group, my era
Yeah,
of
they're around my
people.
age, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Waynetta Vini was her last name when we were in high school.
Okay.
So,
Oh, she
but
got the answers for you.
yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's why she,
Yeah.
But those were the first girls that I could really see like play, like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like boogie a little bit. So like,
There were several. I mean, we talk about the West Coast, talk about California, Cindy Brown, Penny Toller, like I said, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson. There were so many. We had a dominant high school team in, see, who was dominating back then? There was Linwood High. I mean, there were a lot of high school teams that produced top tier women basketball players back then. And I don't know if it was the exposure, lack of tournaments. I don't know what it was that it seemed like at the time, most of the publicity was going to women that weren't in California. I don't know what that was all about,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know. We had some serious hoopers.
Oh yeah.
We had some serious hoopers. We used to play. One big thing that I was doing back then was playing Hoop It Up. And then
Mm-hmm.
we had tournaments at Venice Beach. Queen Latifah was always like hosting a tournament at Venice Beach, and so the women would come out of nowhere, just show up and hoop.
And play outside
So
already back then.
play outside. Play
Yeah.
outside. That's probably why my knees jacked up to this day.
Wow. Yeah.
But that's what we used to do. It was a different mentality, you
Yeah.
know.
That's what's going on over here. Like, we had a girl hoopers that could play, but it wasn't like that. No leagues like that. We couldn't have no leagues. I think it's still not even that many. It's more little girls playing now, but we couldn't have no league outside league for them to come playing and stuff. Like, I don't think we had that
Right.
like
And
that.
that's probably why I know me for sure. I didn't have too many places to play for women. So that's another reason why I had to hang out with my brother, play with him. I remember the first organized team I played for was a YMCA boys team
Mm-hmm.
because, there weren't really many girls teams.
And I remember that too, like playing YMCA
Hmm.
ball, little
Hmm.
girls playing on the teams when I was real little and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I used to,
Hmm.
even on the soccer field too with us. It
Hey,
was,
they had Title IX going on way back there, man. We just
yeah,
didn't
it was.
know it.
So with that, I'm gonna jump around a little bit, like I said. So with your role as being a lady hooper and a lady,
Joe.
you know what I mean. So now you're like trailblazing a lot of things. Like you're a black woman coach. You know what I'm saying. You've been successful. You went through the different levels, high school. You're a head coach now. You
Hmm.
coached that assistant coach that Power Fives. You know what I mean. You were in
Hmm.
the WNBA early in the early parts of the WNBA.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So how do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that like pressure on you, like being a part of all of that, or you know what I mean? Or is it just like you just like it, you just love it, you just in it?
No pressure whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just in it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in my mature days, I'm looking at myself like clearly I have a calling on my life. Clearly, I've been put in these positions, first of all, not to fail, but to excel.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm conquering and checking boxes, I mean, all I see is I still got more to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I've been equipped with whatever it is that God has me to do, I'm able to do it. So he put me in places where I'm able to, like I said, I'm trying to be successful on every single level and then move forward. So as a player, I felt like I had to be one of the best. First of all, as a little sister, let's go back to my brother was like, "Don't embarrass me. Come out here with my friends." So that was the pressure. He was like,
Right.
"I ain't gonna bring you no more." So I had to hoop. I had to perform. And then high school, like the role was to get it done. Then moving on to after my injury at Cal Berkeley. I mean, come back, in my mind, I can't come back worse. I got to come back and be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Then becoming a pro, um, like it's always forward thinking,
Mm-hmm.
no pressure. Just check the boxes and keep it pushing and see what's next.
Right.
A matter of fact, don't just see what's next, but let's create what's next. So now as a coach, first as an assistant coach, go be the best. My job was, in my mind, go get the number one players in the country. So I was able to get a number three class at UCLA as an assistant.
I
I
saw.
was able to go get a number one class at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I was able to leave Duke, go to the rival, which I'm West Coast. I didn't know you weren't really supposed to do that.
Right.
Then go to Carolina and get a number one class. So in my mind, that's what I'm supposed to do. So now as a coach, head coach, and moving over one seat, I'm supposed to change that whole culture in a program. Like that's what they hired me to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's being done as we speak. And now I'm supposed to win. I'm supposed to win a championship, graduate kids, create and inspire some people to become professionals, make money doing this.
Right.
And then if now have a little coaching tree, if that's what they want to do next, do that. That's what I'm supposed to do. So no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like if I'm not doing it expeditiously,
Mm-hmm.
then I got to get on the ball and make it happen a little faster. So I'll just pray for patience because it's going to happen, but I want it to happen faster than that.
Right. Yeah. So you just in it. So you just once you're in it already, it's just like I said, it's life for you. So we started coaching at the high school. Did you coach at your old high school?
I coached at Westchester High School. I did. I was asked to come back. I think I was still a professional
Mm-hmm.
overseas at the time, and like the men's coach would ask me to come back. The I think the principal, and I'd be like, I don't want to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to coach. I don't like coaches like that. I don't want to do that. Finally convinced me to come back because I felt like, okay, that's what I can do for my school. Did that. I was a head coach at Westchester High for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We went deep in the playoffs. I had some good teams. Had a couple of players go to college,
Mm-hmm.
Division I and whatever. So Again, then it was like I started doing pickup for girls
Right.
in the summertime. Did not have a place. I opened a gym, had 2 courts going for women, well, girls at the time, like a Diana Taurasi. I mean, people were coming back because we had nowhere to go. The gym was crazy. I had UCLA players, USC players, all the locals.
Word.
USC, UCLA players would come back telling their coach, hey, she's good. And just look how it expedited. After a job opened up at UCLA, she came and got me. So I know it's about connections. I went from high school to UCLA as an assistant, and then the story tells itself. But
Yeah. So what I saw,
create what you want.
so you think that's what really helped you get on in the coaching, like with the college level? Because I saw that with UCLA, where you had the big class come in at UCLA. You know what I mean?
Um,
Huge.
I guess so. I mean, it has to be. I mean, for me, people say, "What's the secret?" What is the secret, man? It's me. It's just how I can relate to the kids. I'm a fan. I tell them to this day. I mean, I made phone calls this week. I'm a fan of the players that I recruit.
Right.
I mean, I still enjoy watching it. I still, in my mind, I'm still kind of nice. I can still kind of do what they do in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy watching the game, watching children develop, young ladies develop, and accomplish goals. So the relationships that I had as the high school coach, who was cool, who knows the game,
Mm-hmm.
who opened up the gym. Well, those players went back and told somebody.
Right.
And every head coach, I think, now I know, sitting in the seat, you're looking for help with your program. So if you can hire somebody that can connect genuinely with the kids and get them to work hard and get them to do and be better,
Mm-hmm.
well, Kathy Olivier was the one that put me on. She saw, hey, these kids love you, they respond, they respect you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's come here and do this. Well, it wasn't just the LA kids. I was able to reach out to, all over.
Right.
And contrary to what some people believe, people see the genuine inside of you. So, people don't deal with BS, and they know when you're real. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been something that's helped me with whether it's the player, their coach, their parent, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. They can see through me and see, hey, she might genuinely care about you.
Right.
So,
I heard you say something a minute ago when you were talking about when you coached in high school, how you were having open gyms, like girls open gyms and stuff like that. I know that was legendary because I know,
oh, it was lit. Before lit became the word lit,
yeah,
it was cool. It was
we
real cool. I mean, like 2 courts of women just running, people waiting to get on. I mean, like, it was the place to be. I mean, and that's when that wasn't happening at all. We had nowhere to go. So this gym was for women. I don't even know if it was legal that I was doing it, but it was at nighttime. It was getting in there, going up and down on the side, have little kids training,
right,
working out. You never know what college, because think about it. Women coming home did not have, coming home from college. So a lot of California kids went away for college. They home for college, a period where college coaches, have to be hands off,
mhm,
but they wanted to entrust somebody,
yeah,
that their talent and who they're investing in doesn't go to waste during
mhm,
the off time. So they were coming in and getting it in. I mean, it was great.
yeah,
To this day, I wish I had pictures and videos and stuff
right.
like that. But people that were there realized the value of it.
Because we talked about that at the Sportsplex the other day with Boo a couple of days ago when I was out there last week. He was saying something about he wanted to do open runs and stuff with the with the girls. You know what I'm saying? With the because we do stuff with the boys sometimes with open runs.
Hmm.
Because that's kind of normal. You know what I'm saying? That's like
I know. That's what
you
I'm
know what I mean?
saying.
Like it happens
Yeah.
all. Anyway,
Well, and I think it teaches something. I think it teaches you how to be aggressive, how to be a leader. I mean, you come in there, it's organized, but it's on you to say, I got next.
right.
It's on you to organize your team. It's on you to fight for that foul. It's no officials. So it teaches something that I think a lot of our young people are missing.
Mm-hmm.
That could help expedite their leadership. I mean, you got to go in there and fend for yourself sometimes in a pickup game, or when you're on the court, you don't want to lose because you see a whole bunch of people waiting to
Right.
play, and you might not get back on before 9 o'clock, before the gym
Mm-hmm.
closes at whatever. So you're trying to win. So now you're holding people accountable. That in
Right.
another setting, you might not do that because you might
Yeah.
not feel like you could speak up. But I'll
Right.
be doggone if I don't waited to play 45 minutes and you over there tripping
Right.
or you shooting all the shots. Or we gonna talk about it.
You're right about that, because not like, growing up, because I got older brothers. I got 2 older brothers. So when I used to go hoop and stuff like that with them, like they definitely held you accountable more than you know what I'm saying, like you were hoop with your friends or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
you definitely running back before them. Like they may not run back, but you running.
You gotta get back.
Yeah, you gotta get back.
You gotta get back.
You know what I'm saying?
Or here's the other thing. You coming from college, you got the high school girls come in, they try to get on the court, but it's the college young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a college young lady talking about pressure, well, you got somebody looking up to you like you just came home from college, they're in awe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't really want to come home and establish the reputation that you're really not that nice.
They ain't that good.
You ain't that good. So you trying to go hard too, so the kids don't think you suck. So
You ain't that good. She ain't that good for real, y'all. Like I could
yeah, I
play
play
there.
with her. She ain't that nice.
Yeah, I could. If she played there, I could play there for sure. Yeah.
Reese Washington. Hey, what's up, daughter?
Oh yeah, they
She
tapping
said,
in.
hey, yeah, my people.
So
So, I mean, there was a lot of pressure to be good, to not lose, to be a leader. I had a standard. It wasn't just I'm cool opening up the gym, but I mean, some rules to follow, and I think that helped me in who I am, and I think that's more who I am. I'm a one-on-one.
mm-hmm.
Um, I don't need the big crowd and everything. I really pride myself in being like relationship driven. So I think that helps in my coaching now. I think it definitely helps in my recruiting now. So I can look back on some things and experiences that happened to me that have helped me be where I am right now.
Right. So like we talked about a minute ago, like you played in the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, I mean, I like the WNBA a lot now too, but then I was kind of younger, so I kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just look at like the players are, like kids to me now. When I look at the kids, I mean, like even in the NBA, like the guys
Yeah.
so good. I'm like, man, they like 20 years old. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
How was it like playing for you, or like the experience of what, for you playing back then in the WNBA? Like, because what year did you go in? You went in
Oh
and
my God, I knew you were gonna ask me that too.
I knew it.
2000, and I had 5, no, 2002. It
Mm-hmm.
was like some of the first few years because before I went to the WNBA, I went to what was called the American Basketball League. It was the ABL.
Right.
That started, it was simultaneous with, the NBA season, the college season. And then the WNBA came after that and did the summer months. So I actually started in the ABL. And why am I feeling like it was 2002? Something like that. And so then after that, I went to the WNBA.
But the WNBA hadn't been around that long. It was like what, 97 or 90? Was it before 97?
Oh, shoot. I'm supposed to know this. I feel terrible. Where your girl at? Where our girl with the information?
I know she up here.
I know she knows.
But I was looking at it myself. So I was like, because I see that in 2001 you played with the Comets in '02.
There we go.
You
There
played.
we go. I did the comments like a year and a half
One of your people
and
just.
oh 02. Oh, that's my fault.
Yeah,
Comment.
in '98. Okay.
98. Oh, that's when it started. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I know I didn't play in 98.
No, that's when it started. That's what I thought. That's
Okay. Okay.
what.
Thank you. So yeah, I did the ABL first before
Mm-hmm,
I went over to, and a few people play. The ABL had more money. It was
mm-hmm.
way more money. It was a longer season.
You played with
WNBA obviously came in and killed it. What'd you say?
San Jose.
Yeah, I played with the San Jose Lasers, which was near Cal Berkeley. Had a
Mm-hmm,
lot of Stanford players on there. And then I got traded from San Jose to Long Beach, played at the Pyramid.
mm-hmm.
So Long Beach Stingrays. Remember playing in the championship series for that team. And then after that, I went to the WNBA. So the WNBA had established itself. It was still a lesser salaries, but obviously the punch that came behind the WNBA was great. I mean,
Right.
you grow up talking about, well, I know I grew up talking about, I'm going to be the first lady Laker. That was my whole thing. I'm going to be the first lady Laker playing in the NBA. So to have the backing of the NBA and start a WNBA, I mean, it was a dream. It was
Right.
a dream. So I had to fight my way on there, and I got on there and made a team as a free agent, and it was worth it.
Right. I believe it, because
It was worth it.
I said, yeah, coach did a lot. Like I was saying before, when I was doing some research, because I don't want to be too crazy, like off all over the place. I'm like, I didn't know she like scored so many points as a college player. You know what I mean? And then when I started recruiting class at TLA, then you had another big recruiting class at Duke. You know what I'm saying? That's ACC land. You know what I mean?
ACC land, man. And
You know what I'm saying?
I can admit, like again, I was a West Coast kid. I knew
Mhm.
Pac-10, maybe Big West. That's what I knew. But again, I have to say, when people tell me, Trish, look at what you've accomplished. Honestly, I didn't even know where Duke was for so long. I mean, I'm not trying to be ignorant, but so when somebody presented me with, would you want to be assistant at Duke? I'm like, yeah, cool. I heard of it. Where's that? Had to do my research. Come here, ACC is huge.
Right.
But again, when you have a gift and when you're capable and confident in what you can do, it
Mhm.
don't matter where you are, man.
Mhm.
So it's a bigger stage to do what you do, to
Right.
use your gifts, man. And so I went from here, Concordia. I see one of my kids that was at Concordia in Irvine,
Yeah.
like got a #1 class there.
Mhm.
On paper, they say I've gotten a #1 class here in North Carolina Central. So it's something that I'm taking with me. Yeah, I had assistants, other assistants, and we all pitched in. But at the end of the day, there was a common denominator in all those situations.
Right.
And some people, I mean,
Yeah.
call it what it is. But I was able to score. I was able to, fill a role and do whatever needed to be done because I love the game and I don't think I was a selfish person. So what was needed,
Mhm.
that's what you need. Okay, let's get that done.
And did
I'll
you
do that.
do any AAU in the middle before college? Did
I
you?
did some AA. We had AAU back then. Who was I playing with? Uh, John Anderson. I did Watts Magicians at one point.
Mhm.
I did. I can't remember the team, but yeah, I did some AAU. We went to
Mhm.
Phoenix and we did some Vegas. I did some stuff. I mean, it's obviously not as prominent as it is now,
Mhm.
but we did it. Got some exposure. I remember sitting there in front of college coaches as well. So I remember those days, and it was fun. I mean, we used to walk around and look at the little shirts and where that school from, where that school from.
Right. It's who it was. Right.
Yeah, and all that stuff was just love, man.
Mhm.
But
So you was in. So now you was in Carolina. You was Duke, Carolina. Now you got your own situation. I think that's how the timeline went, right? Did you go from
mm-hmm,
Carolina?
mm-hmm,
That's what I thought. Okay.
yep.
So now,
Well, no. Duke, Carolina, went back to Cali for three
mhm.
years as a head coach at the NAIA.
Okay, okay.
Second year, I got coach of the year, won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Third year was kind of down, and that was my last year there. Was out a year, then got hired back right in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of Duke and Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy because I tell people all the time, people that know me, God does prepare us a table
Mm-hmm.
in the presence of that. So again, I'm in the middle of two places. Long story short, two places I coached at, did well at, but they let me go. So
Right.
now I'm on the same level. We all D1. I'm right here with y'all.
Mm.
So there's a reason why of all the schools, I'm the head coach back here in Durham.
Right.
So
And Durham, because what I'm
and Durham.
what you told me you was from the West Coast. I was like, wow, she West Coast and like a West Coast kid. You know what I mean? Like over here on the East Coast, coaching ball, raising your boys as East Coast.
Right.
They going to
I
high.
know.
you know,
That's
but,
crazy.
so
That's true though.
when
That's true. And the funny part is,
mm,
at 3, 4, 5, when I was here the first time around with my family, and I was here for 4 years the first time, 2 years at Duke, 2 years at Carolina. I mean, they were too young to remember California then. They born in California, born in Inglewood in LA, but a lot of their young years were here in Durham the first time around. So,
so you was already they was already being accustomed to being East Coast kids already. Already.
and we from Cali. We claiming West Coast all day.
I mean, I would too. I would use all my connections my mom got. You know what I mean? If she,
Yes.
I ain't mad at it at all. Like, let me know. All of them because I saw they said that they had a good
I
time down
see
there.
Amari.
Yeah, I see he had joined in. So
Mhm.
now like just talking about different things like coaching. With the kids. The level of commitment it takes. You know what I mean to get to the level of being a Division I basketball player. You know what I mean. For you, especially for someone like yourself. Because you can look at it through two different lenses. Like you did it and did it on a high level, high school,
Mhm.
college. You were successful as a coach, as an assistant coach, as a head coach. So when you're recruiting and when you're getting a kid to play for you, do they understand, like, what you're going to demand, the greatness that you're going to demand out of them, and
I don't know if they do, Coach. I
mm-hmm,
don't know if they do. Um, and perhaps that's something I can add to how I recruit,
mm-hmm,
putting it really out there up front.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I guess I'm just the type of person, I don't want to lead with who I am, what I've done, or anything. It's all about the kid. But I think in recruiting and in all fairness, I need to let them know I have accomplished this and I'm not just talking. So my expectations of you got to be a little higher,
mm-hmm,
with reason. So I think some of them do. I'm recruiting some real intellectuals these days, and kids are much more informed. So a
mm-hmm,
lot of them do know what I've done and what I've accomplished, and so they understand off the bat that, look, man, I don't want to disappoint my coach.
mm-hmm,
She believes in me. She's a fan of mine, so I don't want to let her down. So I'm coming in with some fire.
mm-hmm,
So I think when the rubber meets the road, like when it's time to actually do it,
mm-hmm,
some I have to kick in the gear, extra gear.
mm-hmm,
But the beauty of me, I now have surrounded myself. This past season, there were 3 former WNBA players on my staff,
mm-hmm,
including myself. 3. Like, there's no other university in the country that can say, I have 3 former WNBA players and an assistant that was in the league, a male assistant that,
right,
played pro ball. So my staff is second to absolutely none. I mean, one of my assistants won a WNBA championship. So I think in another way, you're going to start seeing that now. Staffs are going to, staff former WNBA players.
mm-hmm,
And we're going to look back and you're going to be like, dang, so
mm-hmm.
Trish is one of the first to do that. Well, because
Have a,
now my peer, people that I played with, people that I played against, people that are still halfway in the league, well, they want to coach. They
mm-hmm,
want to give back. They want to coach. They know this. It's fresh. Like the men are doing it now, NBA. You got these point guards all becoming head coaches in the NBA now because somebody's understanding maybe these people can actually show them how it's done.
mm-hmm,
They got proof that they knew how to do it,
mm-hmm,
and now their minds are able to teach it. So my players come
mm-hmm,
probably, yeah, understanding that I'm gonna have some high demands for them,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna help them get there by teaching.
Right. That's
So
good. So, Coach asked a question too right here about thoughts about the transfer portal.
mhm.
Positive, negatives about it. Do you think it's going to have an impact on graduating seniors this year? With this being a funky,
Graduating high school seniors, it's
yeah,
difficult. I just told somebody today. Unfortunately, I think the high school senior um, is going to struggle the most with that portal. The portal, man, it's a beast because we are charged as head coaches to change programs,
mm-hmm,
to get wins, and it's the business side of it.
right,
And for the most part, yeah, we want to build some foundation,
mm-hmm,
but instantly, you got to get some wins, got to see some progress and whatever. And I think we believe one of the most one of the ways to expedite that process is to go with somebody that's had some experience. So we go to the portal,
right,
we go to the grad transfer who's had the experience, got the education. They just coming in to play ball pretty much, so they're pretty focused. And then the junior college player,
mm-hmm,
and then comes the high school senior. Now the elite ones, the ones on the level that she's coaching right now, are the ones that may fall between the cracks. Every once in a while they get seen. Those will have probably a better opportunity and exposure
mm-hmm,
um, than some. But it's difficult, in many ways not fair, but it's just a different road they may have to take. Just
mm-hmm.
a delay doesn't mean they can't get where they want to go. It just might be a little bit delayed, the high school senior.
So this question just came to my head out of nowhere. So is that the same type of effect? I guess it would be like with on the men's, how grad transfers come in or transfers come in. It's pretty much the same type of effect that the men will have too on the men's side as
It
well.
is. It is. Our men's program, coached by Lavelle Moulton,
Mm-hmm.
that's my bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's been successful, been winning. So in many ways, he's setting a tone for how I'm supposed to get it done. I'm the
Right.
newbie on the block. He's been winning chips, and he knows how to do it well. A lot of his culture is built on the transfer. And now he's going to have more looks with that portal open.
Mm-hmm.
The grad transfer, like you said, they don't have to sit out. They're not subject to any NCAA rules like that. They can come in, get a second degree, play immediately. And you've got to understand, AO, they've got the experience. They've already done this on a collegiate level.
Yeah.
So you feel like, oh, I'm adding a piece to I'm getting a Christmas gift.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, in the women's side, very similar too right now.
Mm-hmm. And then
And I still value the youth and the innocence, and I still want the people that want to teach and coach. I'm still going to open the door to some high school kids because they're going to be the stability and the longevity. Yeah, I might get the quick fix or the quick addition, but I still have to have that solid person that's gradually growing, and it shows me that I still know how to coach.
right.
Because a lot of people are winning off somebody else's development.
Mm-hmm.
I just pick them off, get them, bring them here, let them get their buckets, and they move on. But how did you actually put your hand in helping that development? So, a little my pride want to say I help this person develop.
Right.
I'm not dumb enough not to get the ones that just came off a 2010 season.
Yeah,
But in
yeah,
the meantime, I want my youngin now to be mentored by that one.
yeah. Right. And
And
does it affect? If she asked, does it affect the RPI?
the
Like,
graduates, if they don't graduate, yeah, that was one of the biggest fears. And I was talking about our men's program because our men was that was his concern, that the guy player who probably has the male player that probably has a greater opportunity to go make some money real quick, or in their mind they do.
mm-hmm.
They might come, play, and they never get that degree. And yes, it's damaging to our RPI. That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
On the female side, for the most part, women are adamant about getting their degrees. And again, that's one of those stereotypical things. I don't want to sound crazy, but in my experiences, they want that degree. They say
Right.
women are getting that 4-year thing for the next 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't fear that as much. With the sit out year, having transfer, you have to sit out. You know that they're going to get a year's worth of academics in before they could play.
Right.
So yeah, that was some stability and comfort for us coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully our institutions can help expedite the academic portion so that now we're level. They're finishing their eligibility and they're finishing their degree. But the goal is not to damage the RPI. That's for sure.
Right. And I always ask female coaches or coaches that I know that coach on the girl side, high school stuff, like because when I coach high school ball, you have to help these guys out, like making sure they stand on point with the grades and all that. We had tutoring and study halls right after school and stuff like that.
Oh, it is not just high school. It is the same now, even more so.
I
What?
always ask that question.
Are you kidding me?
I ask
Yes, even more so. I would say even more so because now I'm a little bit grown in college. So I think I got it. I think I understand what I got to do. Now you don't got it. You still need some structure. You
right.
still need a little assistance and direction. So the quicker you can understand that you don't got it,
Right.
probably the better off you'll be.
Mm-hmm.
So no. We still are very much systematic in trying to help them understand. They have to have structure. They have to have some discipline, all that stuff. Because now you throw in. I'm a college player. I'm a college student, and I've got a lot more freedom. And now it's all about your choices and your time management. So as much as we coaches try to stay on, and I mean, we don't sleep with them. We're not in their rooms.
Right.
So a lot of the discipline has to come from them.
Definitely. And then so like I was talking with Coach Jones about a week or so ago when I had him on, and like I said, I always touch on HBCU. I went to Hampton. I went to a HBCU, but I know he he carries his program just like I know you do the same. Like just like it's any other program, like it's a Power Five, like it's Duke or Baylor, Notre Dame, whoever UConn or whatever. So. Because I was talking to somebody before, they was like, I didn't talk about HBCU that much with Coach Jones, and I was like, well, if he coaches at a HBCU, you know what I mean? Like, or if
Right.
about that,
Right.
So I was just wondering, like, with the HBCU thing, and they're trying to get more kids, on the boys to like high major guys, to come over to the HBCUs. Is that push the same for you guys?
Absolutely. Right now, I can say it's our time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that knowing that in our minds, at least in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
somebody saying what's up to you.
Yo, what's up, my boy? Man, he got that. What do you know about Kwame?
He don't know about Kwame. We had to teach him. He's more like a what's the little boy? What's the one that plays for Detroit?
Oh man,
That's who he knows.
oh the guard. I forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that yesterday in the gym about Kwame.
Yes. I had to make them Google Kwame.
Exactly.
But man, it's you. What did you say? I wanted to touch what you just
Oh,
said.
yeah, about like you know how it's a big push going on with the boy.
Right. It is for it is for the guys because of the publicity. So you got what I know is at Howard, not that long ago. My guy's an assistant, he used to play at Duke. And then they got Chris from Cali to come on an official visit there.
Oh,
What's his name, Ari?
they Chris Josh Christopher.
Josh Christopher. That
Mm-hmm.
was a huge deal, big
Mm-hmm.
deal. I know now the HBCUs are making pitches, including our men's coach. You know, they're throwing early offers out to these top players that are saying, you know, HBCU would be nice. Well, the climate right now is all about us. I
Right.
mean, make no mistake about it.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so. And the world is at home to watch it. And I think that as a player right now, a high profile player, on the male side, I do think it's different than the female side because you're talking millions of dollars of difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the stance that the top players are taking is critical. People are watching, and people are watching for selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a move of a 5-star player to an HBCU would be incredible because the TVs, the money, they're going to follow the player wherever they go. And it will be a massive and major uplift for an HBCU. Now, I think you have to find the player that understands it is a movement. And I'm being very selfless
Right.
to do that, so to speak. Do I want to bear that weight and carry that load?
Right.
Or do I want to work and go to the dream school I've worked to get to?
You know what, Coach? I don't mean
to,
you know what? I never thought of that part of it that you just said. Does the kid, the top profile kid, does he want to take on that responsibility of going there and maybe not going there and not being the team not being that successful or it? I never looked at it on that.
Yeah. You don't know. I mean, what they're giving up. I mean, and we're not talking. I'm talking just legally. I'm not talking the illegal benefits that possibly go on. I'm saying that top kid. They've got some sacrificing to do because again, do I have to be take the lead do I have to take a stance for a whole generation when I just been trying to get to this top school? I've been working my butt off. I've gotten exposure. I played in the Boo Williams program, so he put me where I need to be. Now I got off from the top school, but y'all telling me because of the climate, I should pick an HBCU,
Right,
to change the world. Like, is that on me? Well, here's the thing. I would say it like this in brief. The one and doners, possibly, I don't know how much you have to sacrifice. You go do it. You know you're gonna leave anyway. You've changed a whole bunch, and you've only delayed your financial blessings for a year.
right.
I would like to see it happen.
Right.
I would like to see it happen, but I would understand if the opt would be, this is a school I've always wanted to go to, but now maybe my sacrifice becomes I'm going to go play for a black coach. Maybe that black coach has to be a head coach at a predominantly white institution, but somehow, some way, I understand the climate. I understand what's going on. I'm politically and socially aware, and this is my choice.
Right.
But just like the NBA stuff, it doesn't take away from the fact that I understand the movement. On the women's side, to your question, I think it's coming to that as well. I mean, last week we could make our first phone calls. I'm calling top players with North Carolina Central University on my jersey, on my shirt, because again, I'm who I am regardless of where I'm coaching, and my values, my skill sets, my leadership is going to go with me. So what I'm thinking is, if we can get to the point where the top women players of these programs are also courting us and they come here, it's going to change everything. And I don't think they're going to have to sacrifice too much. You're going to get that elite education. You're going to get the attention. You're going to get the exposure. You're going to have all the opportunities to do what you want to do post graduation. And you're going to be able to come in and play, get your numbers, and win, and have more presentable statistics most of the time.
Right.
Than if you go and have to sit for a couple of years and you're playing behind some other people. I invite them all to come here, play for some outstanding coaches, break records, win championships, and then have probably a less competitive route to get to the Sweet 16 and Elite 8.
Yeah, definitely. Because I was thinking about that. And then what you said earlier was kind of powerful about that too, what you're talking about right now, being able to get those type of players to come play for you because your staff is incredible. You know what I mean? So
I mean, really, sometimes I look like, if I was a player right now, I'd say this. It's so funny, and not to toot my own horn, but I think about it sometimes. Like, I would love to play for me. I would love to have played for a me. I'll say it that way. A me that lets you play, that appreciates your game. I'm a fan of you. I'm excited about it. I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you wrong. I'm going to be your biggest supporter. I'm going to be straight up. And now a staff that they all been there, done that. I mean, like, what do I have to say as a player other than, yes, ma'am, I understand? I mean, if you're really trying to be better,
right?
If you're really trying to improve, if you're really trying to understand the plight of an African-American woman who has become a professional, who has begun to, who has gotten paid to do something you love, who's traveled the world, who's been on different platforms to be able to express herself, and who's gotten education. Like, is that what you want to do or not?
Right.
Because we can help you do it.
Because I was looking at that. Like I said, me and Coach Bailey, like I said, I lean on her a lot to help me out with the show and stuff. So, if we were talking about that part of your, your coaching and stuff, your staff that you was able to put together, and then I look at your videos because I follow you on Instagram, and I see you putting them in, and I see you talk about it a lot, putting them in leadership roles in your practices and letting them do their thing. You know,
trying to do that, and I want to do it more. And my athletic director, Dr. Wicker McCree, she talks about leadership stuff. I mean, she has started a book club. Hopefully she can come back and doing it. But her job is to charge us coaches with getting better. So I feel like me as a head coach and a leader, my job is to create more leaders, not the best follower, but everyone has to learn how to follow. But I'm trying to create leaders, confident young women that understand I can step out of this environment and still lead the pack. So different drills that we do on the court, off the court, I think we can do a little bit better job, myself as the leader, of creating more scenarios where it takes them out of their comfort zones. And again, all in an attempt to build and create leadership.
Yeah, no doubt. I was just replying to a comment really quick in it, but that's really good stuff. For sure. I caught my timer. My timer said we got it like a minute and a half. So if you're not busy, I could come back for a little bit more. I ain't gonna hold you all night long. But if you
that's on you. I'm enjoying it, and I enjoy watching it, and now I'm a part of it. So I'm history, baby. I'm history.
You're definitely history. Top 5. You're
top 5.
You're top 5 for sure. And then a lot of people have been making nice comments saying about you and stuff that know you personally. I just,
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate them.
And most people don't even know. I say it all the time. They don't believe me. I'm shy. Right. I was sweating a little bit when you asked me, man. Like I said, I'm a one-on-one. This kind of crowd, I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like, when I hit you about it, we was talking about it, I was like, people always ask me, what you going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know, for real. We just,
right. And you flowing so smoothly. I mean, we straight in the conversation. You're a natural. You're a natural. And I can appreciate that.
Nah, because I tell people all the time, like, when I talk to Chris and Dane and a couple of other people that did it with me, they asked the same thing. Like, I said, yo, we're going to rap. I said, I'm going to have some questions, so I won't go too crazy. But I said we're gonna rap for the most part. You know what I mean? Amari talking bad about you. He said you talk too much.
Maury, go to bed.
So it's gonna
Be
end
like my other clip. Be like Trajan and just
right.
chill.
It's gonna end right now, and then I'm gonna go right back in.
All right. All right.